going to my fourth year, PhD at Boston University, College of Fine Arts, Department of Musicology and Ethnomusicology. And my area is, um, two methodological approaches, which is one is kind of historical and archival, and the other is ethnography. And basically, you call that historical ethnomusicology. And so we look at, combined kind of historical methods, and then, ethnography, which is basically collecting stories and, going to the field and getting, information. My journey has been, it's been a very interesting one, from Nigeria to South Africa, Cape Town to Germany, um, learning, going to concert, doing what you call musicking, according to Christopher Smalls, just the gig, the colleagues, the music. Of course, if you're in the classical music or, scene, you do know about the BSO. It's one of the big orchestras in the world. And so I knew about the BSO, but I never thought I would be here. I just did not picture it. I couldn't, um, yeah, I can see how I would be here, but I admired it from far. I thought it was a great place. I, revered it, but, and all of a sudden I'm here. I've really, really enjoyed it. I've kind of worked on three projects. The first one was kind of scanning and documenting panels. The panels are usually displayed in the hallway, upstairs, and on your way to the concerts, you would kind of get a glimpse of some of the history, or they kind of help contextualize maybe the season or the concert, or things like that. So that's one, which is really great. The second one, which is I'm currently working on, is using a spreadsheet to kind of generate some form of data, maybe metadata eventually, but basically documenting the exhibits. And then finally is the real practical, actually the fun part, which I just started, which is basically unpacking the exhibits, that are in the hallways. So basically taking the whole thing out, the cane, and, assembling them and, disassembling them. And so in a way, it all forms part of a whole, process. It's really special for me to be here at the BSO, considering my background and how I'd admired, the BSO, back in Nigeria, when I never had an idea that I could be here. This place actually helps me, or the work I'm doing helps me with the historical aspects of my research. I'm actually seeing this connection between, from kind of the whole process of artifacts and, their collections, their preservation, their interpretation, their documentation, and how, it goes from, just one material to actually an archive. In fact, I think, archive is some form of becoming. It looks like something that becomes, that like there's a process that these artifacts and documents and manuscripts and, objects, there's a process that goes through in which they then become, what you call an archive. Being here has helped me connect the dots within that kind of historical trajectory of how things progress and how objects, of course, are collected. And Bridget has told me all sorts of stories, the non-glamorous side of the of the whole job. And of course, as a scholar, usually what we do is we kind of, just fly in and use this information and, kind of contextualize and make it a narrative, but I think it is very important for me to understand the process that these objects, these materials go through to the point that I, as a scholar, can access it. Right? And my advice would be, open yourself to new opportunities and be flexible. And very importantly, um, build relationships. I think that's for me. That's always what I like to do.